Hi guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children. 12 of my children are still here or home. And I am going to talk about something that's probably really controversial today. So, it's kind of hard to talk about controversial topics because I guess, like, as far as a YouTuber, you don't want a bunch of people to leave your channel, but at the same time, it's part of who you are. And you want to like express that to other people. And I get a lot of comments. Oh, it came to my mouth, sorry. I get a lot of comments a lot of times that are kind of pertaining to the subject that I am about to chat with you guys about. And it's more of a bigger philosophy, I want to say. So I'm going to talk about healthcare today. And I truly believe that it is very important for individuals and parents to take control of their own health, not to be dependent on some system or other people to take control of their health. And I'm really passionate about this. So if I come off as a little maybe too passionate, I'm sorry about that. We have just dealt with lots of issues over the years, to say the least. I didn't realize any of this. Growing up, I didn't grow up like this. I just am very thankful that I've learned different things over the years. So, I guess the whole thing is you have to take charge of your own health. And I think that is such a broad topic. It's not just, a lot of times people see something and they'll say, oh, well, what herb can I use for this? Or what can I use for this? And it's not about that. It's more about looking at the whole body as a temple, right? So let me see. Okay, I was trying not to shake you. So looking at your whole body as a temple. So I believe that God created me and he created you and he created all my children. So I want, and that our bodies are a temple for the Holy Spirit or for God. And in that we want to care for our temples. So we want to care for our bodies. We want to take care of our bodies, take care of our minds, take care of our souls, so that we can live a good life. She came in to grab her cup. So there's many things actually in this video that I can't actually say, which is so ridiculous, because if we live in a free country and we can have free speech, we should be able to say what we want to say to each other, right? Like we should be able to have conversations, like open conversations, without like being worried that we can't say that or we're going to get in trouble for saying it. But so some of these things I can't outright say. So you have to understand that I literally can't say them out loud, or I can't type them in the comments. So you're going to have to maybe ask somebody else, because I can't say it, which is going to make this a little more difficult. If you were in my kitchen and we were chatting over a cup of coffee, it would be totally different, but we're not. So I have to make a decision, like, do I want to do this video? Don't I want to do this video? But I get asked so much about different things, like why I do whatever with Sweet Pea, and how we do that. So let's backwards a bunch. When I first had kids, I did the full doctor schedule, and we did all of our visits on time every 2 months. And we did everything just so. My kids were so sick. My house was spotless. Like, I personally am a neat freak. I know that you guys see my home today and you're like, oh my goodness, her house is busy. There's mess, there's dirt, there's whatever. That's because I have to change my mind in order to allow that, right? Because I can only choose to be and do so many things. And if I am a super neat freak, then I can't be the mom that I need to be. So I have to, sometimes even now, I have to pray over issues that really, really bother me. My husband, he tends to keep lots of stuff, and I really had to pray over that. My husband also, like, I don't like wearing shoes in the house. but my husband is perfectly okay with it and never takes off his shoes. So therefore it makes more dirt. So those types of things, right? So I used to be a super neat freak. Like I would bleach everything, Lysol, bleach, those are my friends, right? We actually lived in Massachusetts, and then we lived in Florida, and we lived in spaces that we had city water, yada, yada, yada. So we were the typical American family, probably, I don't know, I can't count the years, for so many years of our marriage. And then things started happening, and it all happened, like, it all started unfolding little by little in Florida, when we lived in Florida. So my 5-year-old son at that time was getting sick all the time. All the time. He was getting fevers of 106 and never going into fever seizures. We had ear infections like every month. We had a daughter with asthma. We had all the things that so many moms right now are struggling with all the time. And it honestly breaks my heart, because it's like, we literally took one thing away. One. And it started improving. But it took a lot for me to want to take that away, because I felt threatened. I felt threatened by a system that I had to do that. And if I didn't do that, then I wasn't a good mom. So we mentioned before that, and me and Sarah kind of mentioned it, like, I don't do this and she doesn't do this. But if I actually speak a video on the whole subject, then I can have some repercussions. So if you haven't seen our video together, then if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you can go back and watch that, and then it might make more sense to you. So after we it was just a bunch of craziness, and then we found out, actually my son had mono, and that's actually how we found out that he had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So over the years, so many things have happened to our family that has had me research more on what the heck is our healthcare system doing to us, and what is the purpose of our healthcare system. Why are they giving certain things away for free? Why can you go to the local pharmacy and get things for free if it costs them money to make? Because they're making lots of money. This is not about your health. This is about money. Did you know in other countries, they actually pay doctors more if they get people healthy, and their rates are so much lower as far as cancer, diabetes, heart disease, all these things are so much lower because they are trying to help their patients. That's not here. Overall, I mean, there's some good doctors, whatever, but also they've been indoctrinated for 8, 12, however many years they've been in school. They've been indoctrinated on the system, right? And the system is so that certain people get rich, and it's not you. And they don't care if you live or you die. Actually, they'd like you in this space right here that you're not healthy and you're not dead. You're sick so that they make the most money. And when you get that, understand that, your life will change. Everything will change. Because they don't want you to have healthy kids. They don't want you to be healthy. They want you to be sick. So I think that doctors are great when they are needed. I think doctors are great for overseers. I think doctors are great for providing tests that we need to have tests for. There's a purpose. But you can't go blindly into a doctor's office and be like, yeah, take care of me. No, because they're going to try to find every single medicine that could potentially be helpful to you in order for you to do whatever. Why do you think that they don't talk about diet at any of your visits? They're like, yeah, you can eat, for instance, with diabetes, right? They say that you can eat, as much ice cream as you want. You can eat your, 100 carb prepackaged food. Why do they say that? It has no nutritional value. So you're going to be giving insulin to a child when it has no nutritional value. You're not feeding anything to your child. You're feeding them something with no nutritional value, and then you're injecting them with insulin so they can manage all the sugars and junk that's in there. No, I don't sign up for that. I don't. So maybe some people aren't going to like that, right? Because I don't sign up for that. But that's okay, because I know that it's my responsibility as a parent to take care of my children and to be informed and to know exactly what's best for my children, because God gave them to me for my responsibility to care for. He didn't give them to the doctor. He gave them to me. So I think every decision that you make as a parent is important. So what you feed your children is important. What you put inside of your body is important. Like whether it's medication, and I'm not saying that all medication is bad and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to make informed decisions. That is what this is about. You need to make the best informed decision for you and your family. And sometimes it's going to be medication, and sometimes it's going to be herbal, and sometimes it's going to be chiropractic. And sometimes that's going to be not going to the doctor at every sniffle. Maybe you need to realize that God created our bodies and we need to get sick in order to help build our immune system. Maybe that means that you need to seek out how the environment around you is affecting your health. I know a lot of people might look at an old house and they see little bits of mold or something like that in the house. And I'm not saying that mold is good at all. I'm not saying that at all. I think that it needs to be treated properly and all this type of stuff. Like, I'm not saying that mold's good, but they might see that. Yet at the same time, they clean their whole house with bleach, and that's a chemical that's like being toxic inside of your body. Or maybe they use aluminum. Look that up. Or maybe they use fluoride. Look that one up. There's so many different things that are told to us that I'm not going to get into all the details, but it's your responsibility as a mom to research these things and make decisions on your own. So I have chosen to research things and make educated decisions on my own. And then I work with doctors to find out a plan that works for both. And so all the things that we deal with, that's how I do it. So you know what? My house, I don't keep super clean, because keeping something super clean and sterile is actually not good for your health. We go outside and we walk outside barefoot on a farm because it's actually good for your health. The microbiomes like out there are good for your health. We go outside when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's all types of weather, because it's good for your health to build up your immune systems. So all the things that I do, I'm trying to do because of our health. We, long ago, years and years ago, we decided our skin was our biggest organ, right? It sucks in all this stuff. And it kind of filters it into our bloodstream, kind of. Nah, not really, but yeah. So your skin, what you're putting on your skin matters. It really matters. So, tickly nose. So, deodorants, body washes, shampoos, conditioners. Did you know that they created shampoo so that, you know, when you like take a shower and you wash your hair in shampoo, and then like the next day, or if you went 2 days and didn't like take another shower, your hair would be so oily and so greasy, it would be like disgusting, right? They create shampoos that way so that you use more shampoo. If you went, like honestly, I use a homemade bar of soap on my hair and vinegar for conditioner. And I wash my hair once a week. I have absolutely no issues. My hair is not greasy. It doesn't get like all itchy, nasty, whatever. No, it's just like, it's so natural that that's how it would be done, right? and your body will produce enough oil and the right amount of oils for your body, because we're created really awesome. So there's just so many aspects of this whole health picture that we can't just expect. I think in our society now, it's like, I feel sick, I need a pill for that. Or I need a pill for this, or I need a pill for that, when we're not asking ourselves the questions, why? Why don't I feel good? What is going on with my system? And sometimes even healthy people get sick. They do. Sweet Pea got type 1 diabetes, and she had an awesome diet. Let me tell you. Most kids do not eat as well as she does. And she still got type 1 diabetes because we're in a fallen world and there's things that we can't prevent. There's viruses that are not natural viruses. There is, things getting sprayed overhead. There's chemicals getting sprayed on the roads. There's all these environmental things that are going on that we can't help. We can't put ourselves in a bubble. We can just do what we can do in order to make our lives better. Interesting fact. I have had 3 babies that were transverse, and then later turned into breech. So transverse is laying like this, and then breech is obviously upside down. They no longer will, deliver breech babies. Most people. Yeah, I'll just say most people will not deliver a breech baby. Most of the time, in the traditional sense, if you had a breech baby, they would automatically give you a C-section. Did you know, going to the chiropractor and getting the Weber technique done, most of the time, I think my chiropractor said 98% of the time is going to flip your baby. Most of the time that a baby lies breech is because the pelvis is twisted and it can't get engaged in the correct position. So you untwist the pelvis so that it is in the correct position, and the baby is just going to automatically get into his comfy position, because it's more comfortable if the pelvis is correct for the baby to be head down. So why aren't we doing that as regular medical practice? Why does nobody know about that? I flipped 3 babies. I've had 3 babies flipped after 1 chiropractor appointment. Each time, one time, that afternoon or the next day, the baby would flip. Why aren't we taught that? Why are we taught most of the time that Lyme disease is not curable? My daughter, 2022, my daughter was tested and there's more than one Lyme, in case you guys don't know that, had all 5 types of Lyme. 5 types of Lyme in her system. So in normal settings, they would try to give her an antibiotic, which antibiotics kill absolutely good bacteria, bad bacteria, all this type of stuff. They would have tried to give her antibiotics, and then it probably wouldn't work. It probably wouldn't have cleared it up all the way. It probably would be reoccurring and coming back again. We went the natural route. Yeah, it took 7 months. 7 months, but she's completely clear of all 5 types of Lyme. And because she had all 5, she'll never get Lyme again. You may have Lyme disease that are causing other things as well, because it's not just ticks. But most of us don't realize that. Most of us are just taught that it's just ticks, and you get a tick bite, and then your bite swells up like this, and you have Lyme disease. She never remembers even getting bit by a tick, and she was like a minor at the time. So she would have said something, and we do not remember her getting bit by a tick, even just bit and pull off right away. I have some other children that they have and do not have Lyme disease. Anyway, that said, there's so many different things, and there's so many things going on in society. Just like Sweet Pea was diagnosed with type 1. None of those people, I said to them, it looks like she has really low iron. Oh, we can't test that right now because things are whatever. And I was like, okay, but it looks like she has really bad iron. And yeah, she did have really bad iron. I also, when we're doing the natural route as well as using the endocrinologist and that type of stuff. And so we went there, and he's like, yeah. And it was interesting because I was talking to a lot of the nurses in the ICU when I was in the ICU, and they said that they had seen such an uprise in pediatric type 1 diabetes since the most recent virus. And it makes sense in a way, because that most recent virus attacks your pancreas, and type 1 is like a pancreatic type condition if you look at the whole systems together. So I went and I was like, I want to see if there's anything like underlying this. So I went to the natural doctor after we had got back from the endocrinologist and all that type of stuff. We went to the natural doctor, and he found that she had long-term COVID. Can't say that. Long-term that. And we never even remember her being sick with that, but it can be just an underlying, especially in younger kids, it can be an underlying thing. And so she had that. I also mentioned it to the doctor, and they're like, well, we could give her an antibiotic. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me see what I can do with the natural doctor, and then we'll go from there. They didn't even want to test her for any of those things, because they said that she couldn't be tested right now because her pancreas was so out of whack. So we went natural route. She got that completely gone now. Her iron is completely up to normal. Her vitamin D levels are completely up to normal. So I'm just saying this because I know that so many of you guys are concerned for my children's health, that maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I'm not doing things that are right. I have gone years, I had a son who had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and I was always seeking and searching. There was a time when he was 13 years old and he was antibiotic resistant. I had no clue what that even meant. He was in the hospital pretty much dying, and they were going to do absolutely nothing for him after they've already tried 5 different antibiotics. I spent that whole night into the next day. I went in there, he had pneumonia. I went in there into the hospital, and I just started treating him in the hospital. And there was really, the treatments that I was using was not an oral treatment, so there wasn't anything they could really do. The next day, he was 50% better. The day after that, we went home. So I'm not going into any of the things that I am talking about blindly. I spend sleepless nights up searching and seeking out answers for my children, because I believe that's what God's called me to do. So I really encourage you guys. I know that some people are going to be like, you should really. I really just encourage you guys, if you're having conditions, which most people are, this is a fallen world, right? To seek out alternatives, to seek out true health, to realize that most likely your doctor, even though they're nice, I have a really, really nice doctor, and she's actually really nice with all of my children, and she is really open to, listen, I know that you guys choose this, but she also knows that I know that if things are at this point, type 1, you need insulin. I'm not an idiot. Like, I know that this is what's going to have to happen, but that I'm going to help make judgments and decisions for my children that are going to work out best for us. And if something starts not working, then we look and we seek and we find something else. And I feel like everyone should be doing this for themselves, for their own health, for their family's health. And I don't want, like, I know things are probably going to get kind of political. I want you guys to understand, like, I'm not political. I'm not. We actually years ago made the decision not to vote because we we choose that our king is our king, and not to make that decision for people on earth. I don't want to vote for the lesser of the two evils, if you would. And some people disagree with that as well, but that's our decision in our life. So I guess I'm saying that because this isn't about politics. This is about health, and this is about wanting to seek out truth and wanting to seek out answers. And it can go so far as to, like, you can seek out in so many different ways. You can seek out, you know, if you want to search for your own health, you can also seek out for, like, the food supply and what's happened to our food supply and what's happened to our food. Why are there so many people that can't have gluten anymore? Because they've changed the wheat around so much that it's messing with our systems. Why is, you know, what are GMOs? What are all these different things? They can all be such controversial topics, but it's your job as a wife, as a mother, as an individual to seek that information out so that you can make the best decisions for you and your family. And I hope that you all do make the best decisions for you and your family. And it doesn't have to be my decision. We don't have to be the same. Somebody can choose this diet for their household. I can choose this diet for my household. And we don't have to be the same. It's another thing in society. It seems like everyone has to have the same exact opinion about everything. But what makes individualism? Individuals who choose different things, individuals who do things differently. I'm on a homestead. I have many friends that travel quite a bit, you know. I know people that are in the city or whatever, like, and it's what makes that person an individual, right? And we can just appreciate each other for our individualism. But I did want to get this out here just because I get so many questions as far as my children and our diet and health, specifically with sweet pea. I might do an interview at some point with my daughter. I'll see how she feels about that. We're also dealing with some things with that. Another thing that is, yeah. Anyway, that could be for another video. I'm getting a little ranty here. All right, so I hope you all have a blessed day. And if you want to skip this video, you can feel free to skip this video and just enjoy the cooking videos. But I felt like I had to make this video because it's something that I am passionate about, and it's something that people keep asking questions, and I keep writing paragraphs about this long in response to it. So I thought I'd just get it over with right here. All right, y'all have a blessed day.